Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2020 Lone Tree Cemetery Memorial Day ceremony. My name is Sergeant Major Michael LaQuesta, and we are your Master of Ceremonies for the event. Lone Tree Cemetery has a long history of Memorial Day consecutive ceremonies. This year is the 117th. It is also the largest and longest running Memorial Day ceremony west of the Mississippi River. This hollow ground is the final resting place for 4,500 veterans. 73 of the service members were killed in Vietnam and hail from local cities such as Castro Valley, Hayward, and San Lorenzo. Not to forget our civil servants, there's also a memorial dedicated to the Alameda County Sheriff's Department and police departments throughout the county. Robert McDowell, 1822 to 1901, is the sole Medal of Honor recipient buried at Lone Tree. He was killed during the American Indian Wars while assigned to the 5th Infantry Regiment, United States Army. This year's event is quite challenging because of the current pandemic and shelter-in-place order throughout California and the country. With adjustments and extra coordination, Lone Tree Cemetery is proud to say this year's ceremony will still occur, although it will be a virtual one. It will be posted on Lone Tree's Facebook and website. I hope you'll take time to watch it. This year we won't be able to host our traditional program. In accordance with shelter-in-place mandate from the state of California and the county of Alameda, we will not be able to facilitate a group gathering. What we are doing this year to honor our veterans is the virtual program. We hope that our ceremony and program helps you in your effort to honor the special veteran in your life and thank the entire veteran community on this special day. We will now post the colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now I will now introduce First Sergeant Kathy Vargas again to recite General Logan's order.
The 30th day of May, 1868 is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in this land. In this observance, no form or ceremony is prescribed, but post and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonies of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized comrades, and our regulation tell us for this purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kinds of fraternal feelings which bound together the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who united to suppress the late rebellion. What can aid more to assure this result than by cherishing tenderly the memory of our heroic dead, who have made their breast a barricade between our country and its foe? The soldier lives where the revel of freedom to a race in the chains, and their death the tattoo of rebellious tyranny in arms. We should guard the graves with sacred vigilance. All that the consecrated wealth and taste of the nation can add to their adornment and the security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of their slain defenders. Let no wanton foot tread rudely on such hallowed grounds. Let the pleasance pass invite the coming and going of reverent visitors and fond mourners. Let no vandalism or avarice or neglect, no ravage of time, testify to the presence or the coming of generations that we have forgotten, as people, the cost of free and undivided republic. If others' eyes grow dull and other hands slack and other hearts cold in solemn trust, ours shall keep it well as long as the light and warmth of life remains in us. Let us then, at this time appointed, gather around their sacred manes and garland the passionless mounds above them with choicest flower of springtime. Let us raise above them the dear old flag that saved them from dishonor. Let us in the solemn presence renew our pledge to aid and assist those whom they have left among us as sacred charge upon the nation's gratitude. The soldiers and sailors, widows and orphans. In the purpose of the Commander-in-Chief to inaugurate this observance with the hopes it will be kept up for year to year, while a survivor of the war remains to honor the memory of his departed comrades. He earnestly desires the public press to call attention to this order and lend its freedom and aid in bringing to its notice of its comrades in all parts of the country in the time for stimulus compliance therewith.
We will now have a few remarks from Brigadier General Stephen McLaughlin, who is a 100 Training Division Commanding General.
I am Brigadier General Steve McLaughlin, Commanding General of the 100th Training Division, Fort Knox, Kentucky, and a resident of the Bay Area. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to speak at the 117th observance of Memorial Day at the Lone Tree Cemetery. While circumstances do not allow us to be there in person, I am proud that all of us are still able to honor those today who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Memorial Day is a day of national remembrance. It is a time to honor our commitment, to remember the countless veterans who gave their lives in defense of our nation. Members of our military services have always placed our nation's safety before their own. From the first shots fired at Lexington and Concord, to the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, brave patriots from all walks of life have taken on great risks to keep us safe. We can remember these brave men and women in so many simple yet meaningful ways. By visiting memorials or cemeteries, by flying the U.S. flag at half-staff until 12 noon, or by pledging to help the families of the fallen. We can also do this in a collective way, by participating in the National Moment of Remembrance, a call to pause at 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day to reflect on and remember those Americans who died in service of our nation. While Memorial Day became an official federal holiday in 1971, it was originally called Decoration Day. The first national observance took place at Arlington National Cemetery on May 5, 1868, to recognize the sacrifices made by both Union and Confederate soldiers during the Civil War. Speaking during that first national celebration, Ohio Congressman and future President James Garfield remarked, "We do not know one promise these men made, one pledge they gave, one word they spoke, but we do know they summed up and perfected by one supreme act. The highest virtues of men and citizens, for love of country they accepted death, and thus resolved all doubts and made immortal their patriotism and their virtue." On Memorial Day, we pay homage to the gallant patriots, both past and present, who have fallen in service to our country. The unselfish display of their love of country has been tendered in blood on countless battlefields around the globe. It is the hardest currency of all. Once spent, never to be recouped, a debt we can never fully repay. Thank you, and God bless you and your families as we remember our fallen friends and loved ones on this Memorial Day.
Okay, we will view a short video of Lynn Owens of his reading of America.
America? You asked me why I love her. Well, give me time and I'll explain. Have you seen a Kansas sunset or a Arizona rain? Have you drifted on a bayou down Louisiana way, or have you seen the cold fog drifting over San Francisco Bay? Have you heard a Bob White calling in the Carolina pines, or heard the bellow of a diesel in the Appalachia mines? Does the call of the Niagara thrill you when you hear her waters roar, and do you look with awe and wonder at her Massachusetts shore, where men have braved a hard new world, first stepped on Plymouth Rock? And do you think of them when you stroll along a New York City dock? Have you seen a snowflake drifting in the Rockies way up high? Have you seen the sun come blazing down from a bright Nevada sky? Do you hail to the Columbia as she rushes to the sea? Or have you bowed your head at Gettysburg at our struggle to be free? Have you seen a mighty Tetons or watched an eagle soar? Have you seen the Mississippi roll along Missouri's shore? Or have you felt the chill of Michigan when on a winter's day her waters rage along her shore in a thunderous display? Does the word aloha make you warm? And do you stare in disbelief when you see the surf come roaring in at Waimea Reef? From Alaska's cold to the Everglades, from the Rio Grande to Maine, my heart cries out and my pulse runs fast at the might of her domain. You asked me why I love her. Well, I've a million reasons why. My beautiful America, beneath God's wide, wide sky. God bless America, and God bless you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the General Manager of Lone Tree Cemetery, Mr. Ray Ortner.
Hello, thank you for being here. On behalf of the staff here at Lone Tree Cemetery, the Board of Trustees, and the Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you very much for sharing some of your Memorial Day with us, and it's glad to have you here at our park, even though it's virtually. We are honored to be caring for your loved ones, your family, and your friends. My name is Ray Ortner. I am the General Manager of Lone Tree Cemetery. Lone Tree Cemetery is very fortunate to have guidance and leadership from some wonderful local businessmen. They are our Board of Trustees and our Board of Directors. Our current board consists of President Bob Matos. Fun fact, this is Bob Matos' 50th Lone Tree Cemetery Memorial Program attendance. And he wanted to do something special, so I don't know if this qualifies, but it is definitely something I don't think we'll ever forget. Craig Judy is our secretary and our treasurer. Ronald Peck, George Pacheco, and Bobby Matos comprise the remainder of our board. Thank you, gentlemen, for your leadership and your guidance in making Lone Tree Cemetery so successful. So some new things that are going on at Lone Tree Cemetery is during this pandemic, we are continuing to serve our families with some modifications. Our office is closed to the public. However, our staff is available to meet by appointment and over the telephone. We're maintaining our traditional office hours, so that all you need to do is simply call us, and we will go ahead and coordinate an effort to go ahead and serve your needs. We are just completing our Bayview Columbarium expansion right on the back side of the amphitheater here, and we are offering a 25% pre-construction discount. We're also able to go ahead and meet your needs by offering cemetery property both virtually and online, where you can go ahead and see pictures and listings similar to what you'd see in real estate transactions. So please, if you're interested, take a look, and if we can help out, let us know. This year we wanted to expand our community event schedule, and unfortunately, until further notice, all of our events have been postponed. We will reschedule once we have been given clearance to do so, and we'll try to reschedule as many of those events as possible. Our gates are open from 8 in the morning until 6 at night every day, so you can come out and visit at Lone Tree Cemetery. As you heard earlier, we have over 45 veterans interred here, so it's really important that we came up with a way that we could go ahead and in spirit honor our veterans. So we thought this virtual program was a good idea. If you visit our park, please make sure you take a copy of the social distancing protocols, which are located underneath the sign as you enter the park. Please make sure that you keep mindful of others and respectful of others. It is very important that we do our part to maneuver through this pandemic. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and stay safe. We'll all get through this together, and we'll be a better community for it. This Memorial Day program will be memorable for many reasons. Never forget the brave men and women that serve and continue to serve in our great nation. Remember that we live in the land of the free because of the brave. I'd also like to take this moment to give a couple of thanks to some very important people that made this virtual program possible. First, the Golden Gate Young Marines, who are standing by the wreaths. American Legion Post 649 Honor Guard. Thank you, gentlemen. Command Sergeant Major Mike LaCuesta, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you, Mike. First Sergeant Kathy Vargas. Again, thank you, Kathy, for everything that you did in coordinating and helping us line things up. Our bagpiper, Harold Wilkes. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody, and again, stay safe. Thank you.
At this time, we'll have the Young Marines conduct the laying of the wreath ceremony.
Firing team, attention! Port arms! Half right,